But they are going live into the knife round here, Nuke.
I'm not sure if Exile 5 would have officially got word or would have done the maths to recognise that they're now knocked out. I hope for their sake that they haven't, because I actually want to see them really put up a good fight here and still try and win out 2-1. I mean, there's still pride to play for, so I hope that they're just focused on the game at the moment. Mirage was their map choice, and it's a map that we haven't seen them play too much recently. They've been steering quite clear of it, so at the moment, we're down to a 1 versus 1 as our cameraman is doing the best he can to get the action on the stream. We've got a new cameraman, we've employed him, and he's doing a fantastic job tonight, and we really appreciate all his help. But for the time being,
he's from North America.
Members don't want a knife off.
We got a North American cameraman in. He's great.
We don't have a North American cameraman. He kept both players on the screen. It was that guy.
That's true.
Harvey said they're winning out, but
he would have missed that frag too, actually, if he was from North America.
Oh dear. Well, the players are reading up here, but wow, I'm at a bit of a loss of words, to be honest. I think that normally I always have something to say. I think
normally you do
testify to that. I normally like to mouth off a little bit, but X5 not qualifying for LAN, that just blows my mind to think about that prospect.
I'm disappointed too. Yeah, would like to see those boys.
I was just going to say, how long ago was it with that third one with Streamline? Is that now 2 seasons ago or 3? I think 2.
2 seasons.
Chiefs. Was it Chiefs Immunity Streamline? Maybe it was 3. Maybe not. 2 or 3 seasons ago.
Gonna need a fact check on that one.
Yeah, might need to do a fact check afterwards. But he's now in a situation where he won't be at LAN. Tux, like you said, won last season down at PAX Australia with Chiefs, and he won't be here now. Mizu just recently went overseas, or not recently, but at the end of last year went overseas with Legacy to the FACEIT Stage 3 finals. He won't be there. It's quite a strange situation, but let's put that aside for the time being, hopefully.
Let's raise our cans.
Let's raise our cans for what should be potentially the final match here of Exile 5 in this season, CGPL Autumn 2016, and they're moving quite quickly towards the B site, perhaps trying to get it over and done with this. They have found that first frag onto RBZ. Tux doing it with the Glock and the AWP on the last map and continuing in a similar fashion at the moment. It's actually forced Alpha Sydney to play really, really passively here, Jin. They're back in checkers and they're afraid to even pick into B.
Well, that's right. Sicko's just getting in their backs, but of course he's now the only one left. Mizu, though, is just tempting him with that jumping burst. Is now, he does finally get one, but it's not the one he was after. Does get Mizu as well. Now leaves a 2 versus 1. He doesn't have a kit, so his time is up. But of course, they're all picking at him here, and they've given him a slight opening here. Tux just dancing with death, and now he's out of bullets here. Poor old Sicko going for that shake, not able to do so. Tux just avoiding disaster there for XL5, but of course, with a 10-second defuse, it was getting less and less likely he was going to win that. XL5 starting the second map quite well.
Nothing like a good old-fashioned B rush to get your half underway. I think XL5 will be happy with that. Keep it nice and easy. They have actually invested and have a bit of a mixed bag here, so to speak. Alan's all sorts. Is that what we refer to it as?
Yeah, Whitlam Sampler.
Whitlam Sampler. That was the turn of phrase that I was looking for. Is they've got a couple of rifles, a couple of SMGs, even a pistol and added pecs, but it's that Scouts of Sicko. He can really do it with any weapon, can't he? He's already found that frag onto Mizu, connecting there with the headshot, and now XL5 having to come from behind once again. It's not the first time we've said that tonight. Peck's actually getting down quite close to Sicko there in mid, and we'll take him down, so Sicko not aware of that threat and punished as a result.
Yeah, Dan's opening up B as well with that P90, and well, they're taking control of the B-bomb site, of course, now cleared out mid as well, and leaves Echo in the A-bomb site. Gets taken down quite quickly by Ferg as well. So, great start here from XL5. And
making it look quite clean at the moment.
Yeah, they're keeping it clean.
Happy with this. I think that Sicko in that instance perhaps need a little bit more support there in mid. It was playing quite solo there. Whilst he got the first frag, there was no one ever really around him. I would have liked to perhaps see some CTs putting some pressure on B Short, or even coming through the mid-con as well, maybe even underpass push, just something to help him out and try and aid that lone scout, but nonetheless, XL5 mixing up the tempo. We've seen them rush B, now they're rushing A, and finding the frag's doing a good job here. PC Kid will get one for the good cause, but that's about all that's going to happen as those nades come landing in towards mid-con and catch a few CTs with them. Good job there by Mizu doubling up.
So RBZ now will be looking to try and pinch a weapon, if he can potentially, as he's made his way into Palace, unbeknownst at the moment to XL5. And he's just going to try and do some sneaky stuff in his sneakers through the Palace. Might catch out Tux here actually in the A-bomb site. Oh, some movement there from Tux mid-air. And the pirouette is enough to save Tux in that instance. RBZ gets taken down. And XL5 3-0 after those anti-eco rounds.
Now, what we've seen in the past from XL5, I do remember that. I think we were watching them a lot during Counterpit, but also more recently during some of, I think, the ODCs and whatnot, is they have a tendency to perhaps just fall into this pattern of just A execute after A execute after A execute. So I'm happy to see at the moment they're actually sending at least a few members through the B halls, a couple to the top of mid, at least showing some early versatility, and perhaps using that A execute as a last round or a last minute strategy to fall back upon if things don't work otherwise for them. Actually, Mizu has that SMG still that he kept, and I think he's just flashed his teammate down in the form of Pex, but they actually done a good job of getting actually really advanced up towards me. He's actually in that ladder a bit at the moment, busting the vent for good measure, but moving quickly towards the B side here. RBZ needs to be on his game.
It does, but he gets caught out in the A bomb site. The P90 train coming through. Mizu finds that second frag there. Pex on the lurk, just decimating Alpha Sydney at the moment, and they are falling to pieces there. Gets the third frag in Sicko. Not able to get himself towards that B bomb site at all, but just the pain train from Mizu, that P90, just opening things up.
Yeah, it's all happening very fast at the moment. You can see the economy that XL5 have been able to build up. They've got about 7k across the board, nearly across all members, and it's the change of pace that's really been boding so well for them. Their ability to make those trade frags and seemingly catch Alpha Sydney off guard again, streaming into the side. This time it'll just be two members. It'll be Dan's and Ferg, and they're committing to A, but the bomb actually making its way towards B at the moment. But nonetheless, they're looking for all the frags they can get in the A side. We know the Alpha Sydney are just on ego here.
Yeah, just dancing around. He actually gets that frag. Takes down Dan's with that pistol in hand, and now Pex is able to find PC Kid. That bomb has been planted, and Ferg just making a nuisance of himself over at the A bomb side, of course. That allows Tux to get that plant as Ferg gets absolutely ripped with a single deagle bullet to the dome, and now that gives Alpha Sydney a window of opportunity here. They do have a Gren, an AK, a little bit of time. Tux finds that first frag, though, and makes it more difficult for Alpha Sydney here, as it is now a 2 versus 2. And they do have them trapped here in the bomb site. Echo, last one alive, that Molotov is just going to give him absolutely no chance here. He's going to look for the frag onto Tux. Does get taken down as well, and they do recover those AKs. Alpha Sydney not allowed to take those into the next round. Of course, they will be able to buy here, Alpha Sydney, Sicko, with that AWP, RBZ as well.
That's the silence at the moment, but I'm just contemplating the fate of Alpha Sydney. They're really struggling at the moment. It's good to see, actually, that Sicko has that AWP in hand. RBZ, we don't always see him using that rifle too often, but Sicko going really aggressive here, jumping out the window, but absolutely brutalised there with that M4A1S headshot onto him. So he was put down quite easily there, and Wizard trying to clean up the scraps, but he's really not supported by much either. So XL5 at the moment, they look like a rejuvenated team here. Where was this in the first map when the season was still on the line? At the moment, they're getting picked apart in this round, though. Wizard has found 2 kills there and another Molotov kill going the way of XL5. Certainly, we've been blessed with seeing a few of them tonight, and Tuck's actually doubling up there as well. So great job by him. They've opened up the B side. The bomb is now planted, and PZ Kid having recovered that AWP gem. We'll try and go for this 1 versus 2.
That smoke, though, is going to make things difficult for him. He's now going to back off. So that smoke went down, immediately changed his mind. And we'll change his position here and see if we can get some exit frags. Of course, they're not going to expect him in those B halls. He might be just able to catch out Tux. He does actually recover an AWP, so that could be really valuable here for Alpha Sydney, but he's continuing to press the issue here, PZ Kid. Might catch Tux. No, not the case. Tux just too strong as he falls out of his position and gains that AWP for himself as well. So look at the money on Tux, though. He's got close to $16,000, and that's just how much of a romp XL5 are on at the moment.
Well, Tux hasn't even died once yet in this half at the moment. He's at 9-0 on the scoreboard and really charging into sights. He's just been the first one in. He's making all the key frags that count, even in situations where they are down and out, and my CS has just crashed him, so take away.
Ah, excellent. Well, nonetheless, Dance finds that opening frag there. Sicko just pushing through the underpass, unbeknownst to anybody else, but of course that he's aware of the lurkers. Pex finds that frags onto PC Kid. Tux, though, also finds a frag onto Wizard, and now it is a 2 versus 4. Mizu just lurking in mid with that AWP. Mizu actually picking up the AWP in place of Tux in this instance. So RBZ a long way away over at the A bomb site, or sorry, should I say B bomb site. Might be able to find a few frags here, but it's a drop on the Ferg. Looks for a second, they're not able to find it onto Tux, and whilst Might have been able to take a few guns down there. It really is of no consequence at the moment because that dank bank that XL5 continue to build just keeps stacking high.
Yeah, 7-0 at the moment, and Alpha Sydney really need to try and take control of mid at the moment. They've been sending some strong rifles there, a couple of AWPs on a few rounds, but they need a little bit more support there. They need to dedicate at least 3 members there, perhaps 1 in mid, 1 in short, and 1 in mid-con, just to try and get that early control. Sicko connecting onto Missile will certainly help their cause, but RBZ taking a really, really wide angle there, not leaving him much opportunity to retreat, and Dan's running into the side, gets 2 frags there. Again, the B side's been opened up here. Sicko trying to just quickly rotate there to put some hurt onto XL5, but at the moment it's not to be. He misses that close range shot. He's standing the Molotov. Nothing he can do right at the moment is Dan's. Molly's 2, one of which was himself. He hasn't had the greatest success with flames so far tonight, but at least when you take down one with you, at least that's something.
Wasn't his Twitter handle Danny DeFlame?
Yes.
Well.
Weren't we criticising Mizu's grenade skills the other night with the Molotovs as well? When they're playing, there's something with XL5 at the moment that's just not working. Those utility grenades just not boding well for them as XL5 charging up onto A here, keeping up this fast pace. And again, Wizard with the opening frag, but Dan's retaliating, keeping his gun out, and certainly it's boding well for him as Echo just bides his time under Shadow. Sicko trying to provide some sort of bait for his teammate. It's worked perfectly. Echo standing out, getting 2 nice headshots there as Sicko, and he has 1 left here. That takes him down with relative ease, and you're almost left wondering after looking at that round, how have they lost the previous 8 when that was a similar sort of game plan coming out from XL5 in each instance? But it's really just been the strength of those trades and Alpha Sydney not being there to support each other.
That's right, and perhaps some slight hesitation too from XL5 in getting into those choke points. Obviously, A is a bit of a different site to take entirely, obviously being completely open, but they're going for fast mid control here. XL5 just looking to get something over that smoke there. Sicko misses his shot, but be forced to retreat here into the mid connector and try and take a different angle. XL5 though, I've taken control of mid and just pressing down here. Not careful though, they might be caught by that AWP of Sicko, but that smoke just means his vision is completely limited, and now they're going to try and pressure towards the speed bomb site through the halls. And with mid control, that's a hell of a lot easier.
Yeah, good Molotovs there actually just stalling the progress of those terrorists in the B kitchen. At the moment though, those smokes in mid-con allowing Mizu to actually just walk up short here and pick into the B side with that AWP, and it can be so powerful, especially having that scope attached to that sniper rifle would actually try and catch them off guard, but it would be Peasy Kid. Great positioning there, playing from the shot, getting 1 before Tux takes down Dan's. It's an absolute slobber knocking at this point, as Jim likes to refer to it, but ultimately we find ourselves now in 1 versus 4. His position's known, it's going to be quite difficult from here as he tries to save the day, but not to be, as that AWP will prove to be his downfall.
I don't think you've got the meaning of
I don't even know
slobber knocking down at the moment.
Use it whenever I like and just act like that's the appropriate use.
Okay. Yep. Synergize. While we're using words that don't really fit the context.
I stand by my claim that.
But that's a nice little segue at the moment. XL5 lacking a little bit of synergy that round. It was really awkward there. XL5 were met by 4 counter-terrorists in the B-bomb site. Now, slightly different approach at the moment. They're actually going to send Tux through the underpass, something that they haven't done in a little bit. As Sicko still looming large with that AWP. Slightly different off angle in mid-connector, but XL5 doing a good job of really controlling the ebb and flow of things, despite having lost the last 2 rounds. And now they're continually pushing Sicko around with this AWP, and he's going to have to choose where he takes his battles, but Pex is able to pick up Wizard, and now that leaves A just a little bit weaker. As RBZ is able to find that frag. Pex though pushing straight into the A bomb site. Sicko has rotated to CT ticket box with that AWP, but Tux is in that bomb site. Sicko actually misses his shot onto stairs. Ferg is able to pick up a frag as a result, and now it is a 2 versus 3. HP of Tux and Ferg though are critically low. As Sicko, they know where he is, but can they kill him? That's the question. He's just a survivor at this point in time. That pop flash, picture perfect, as he does take down Ferg. Pizzy Kid with the last, and well, Sicko just going into Terminator mode at the moment.
Yeah, that AWP shot into sight there from the ticker box was absolutely crisp as he kicked out with a nice flick shot. And Alpha Sydney, they've won the last 3 rounds in a row here, but XL5, I mean, they're taking a lot of mid control. They're continuing to do so even on these rounds in which they're losing, but that round they really didn't make much of it as they had Ferg in the ladder room, and even Mizu was close, posted up, but teammates were running into Apex and Tux with that any sort of support, and as XL5 funnel towards the B side on an eco round, They have a few members there lying in wait with some good utility grenades. It will be PZ Kid lying down that Molotov there, but RBZ is trying to kill them before they even get to that point of the side. And at the moment, they're just trapped behind that van and hoping for some sort of safety that it might offer them. But it's giving Text opportunity at one frag, but that's all that's going to be on the cards for him as he goes down. And Alpha City, again, Jim, we've seen a situation in which they've been able to string rounds together.
That we have. But nonetheless, Alpha Sydney need to regain control of this counter-terrorist half. It's fast spiralling out of control. Sicko, the only one really putting up any form of true resistance. As we see him change his position with that AWP, he's got himself onto short there, and now we'll change his position again, getting into the window, looking for another frag now, as we do see PZ Kid just push out onto short, so that Molotov pushes him back into the smoke, and he's able to get a frag before he's taken down. Actually, not taken down at all. He takes down Pex, and Tuck's finally able to find a reply there onto Wizard, but this is spiraling out of control here. Tuck's the last member alive. He's only got 15 points of health, now 9. As well, you feel as this is pedestrian from this point onwards. He's taken down by PZ Kid there. Nonetheless, Alpha Sydney find a 5th round, but they're going to need a few more, and I hope their terrorist half is certainly a little bit better than their counter-terrorist half at the moment.
Sicko is absolutely beasting though at the moment. I'm glad he does have that AWP. They actually just juggled around that weapon just to make sure he had it in his hands, but he's leading the charge at the moment at 16 kills, and really he's been the only one producing much so far in this half. He's been carrying his team back into it. It looks as though XL5 here, they're setting up for just a standard AXQ. They've got one member in palace, but that great flash there actually by Mizu. I really love that play there. You saw Sicko playing that close angle, trying to get that early drop, but it's been quite difficult not knowing whether the terrorists are going to pick from the back or from the front. The two angles of attack can make it quite a difficult spot to manage, but nonetheless, XL5 BGM committing onto their AXQ.
That they do. Wizard is going to be called into action here. That pop flash just stopping the progress of everyone but Tux. Tux pushes straight through there. That smoke locks out PZ Kid in the connector. They do get that bomb plant as a result now. A lot of damage being given through those smokes as, well, Mizu takes down Echo in that instance there. PZ Kid left now in a 1 versus 3. He takes a lot of damage there from that Tech 9. He's found a second frag, but not able to find more than that. Ferg takes him down quite swiftly. XL5 picking up where they left off there after, well, what can be looked at as maybe a hiccup in this half so far, but bring up 9 rounds. Can they go for 10? If they get to double digits here, you feel as though they've got an easy path in that second half.
It's been a massive first half. Even in the rounds in which they've been losing, bar maybe 1 or 2, they still certainly looked as though they were quite comfortable and in control. They were still very much running at the pace in which they were comfortable with, even when sometimes they were losing those trades. And I think that was sort of the hallmark for me that made it look, or perhaps made it feel as though it was much more comprehensive first half than the scoreboard might suggest, even at 9-5. But again, opting for that A execute coming on here. And you can see this time the CT is not bold enough to try and push through into the palace. They're just biding their time, playing back a little bit further. Wizard, though, actually playing close, but he doesn't have much in the way of support. He'll be relying on Sicko, I think, just to open that ticker box, trying to perhaps get that first frag, at least draw their attention. But as those smokes and flashes come running over, he'll pop flash his way towards the T-ramp, but steps out on such a wide angle, exposing himself to all 3 terrorists there, who at all different angles holding from that T-ramp. And at the moment, XL5 have found their way into Apex. He's the first man into the jungle and spots out Sicko, but not quite converting there with the spam actually over. Rotating there with that crosshair, the sensitivity too high as he was spraying into the ball, not into the play. But as the ball rotates back towards B here, Jim, look at the position of PZ Kid.
Yeah, what a position, actually. That's very compromising, as RBZ is the one doing the damage here. PZ Kid, though, just making a nuisance of himself on that stairs. Tux has got a bit of a lurk here, but at the moment, it is Ferg that's being converged on. Alpha Sydney get the final round of the half. 6-9 the score. XL5 doing quite well, as you can see there. They would just run away with it to first instance 8 rounds in a row before Alpha Sydney had a reply. And, well, hopefully Alpha Sydney here are able to string something similar together on their terrorist side.
The key thing for me was the pace that they were running at. It wasn't really until the back end of that half that they actually fell back into that A execute sort of pattern. That's what I guess I was a little bit cautious or hesitant about as we were coming into this match, whether they'd go for that straight away. But they were able so effectively to use that pace to their advantage, just bullying their way onto sites. And when that stopped working for them, they could go back towards that A execute and had more success. As the CTs here pushing T-ramp quite aggressively. Mizu actually trying to backtrack off. Actually, that Terrorist Flash coming in great use, but Dance is also pushing Palace. So the aggression from XL5 here, it's catching off Alpha Sydney off guard, but they haven't yet been able to capitalise. They've done damage, but not yet a frag.
If we look at the overlay, that bomb is actually all the way up into B halls at the moment. They don't have anyone in the B bomb site, XL5, so that has just changed though. Tuck's getting in there, getting on that spot position as he does now know they are hitting this B bomb site here. He's going to be called into action. Does take the first headshot before he's flanked. Sicko getting that frag there, but quickly traded out by Ferg. And, well, Wizards a late flank here at the moment, but of course, it's all going down into B bomb site there. Echo's able to square that ledger. It is now 3 versus 3. 2 counter-terrorists just trapped in the connector, or the checker room at the moment. Ferg takes a lot of damage there, 3 HP, but Pex, the hit's on him at the moment, the hero, as he does take down one before he's quickly taken out there. The lurk has been eliminated. Dan's, it's on him. It's on his shoulders here. If Ferg can get a frag, it's a bonus, but it's Dan's doing the damage at the moment. He does get taken down himself. Ferg, though, PZ Kid, 1 versus 1, 3 HP. That decoy could even kill him at this point in time, but he does manage to make it work, Ferg. If he can find the bomb.
Next to him, will that kill him?
If it hit him and then exploded next to him, I think that would have killed him. But there are instances of you taking 2 damage, up to 2 damage, with a decoy grenade. Tense moments, no doubt, of course, over there in Western Australia, in the Ferg household.
It's a nice household.
It's true, it's very provincial, very...
Provincial, I like that description of it in that instance.
It's a French chateau in Western Australia.
Well, Alpha Sydney have 4 grenades and they'll be trying to, I guess, bombard the chateau at the moment as Tux narrowly doesn't take any damage at all. I'm not sure whether they didn't go into the window room or maybe he found a little paperclip to stand behind to avoid the HE damage. I'm not sure, but nonetheless, Dan's is feasted with 3 kills and they're not waiting as they charge. I don't know how those 4 HEs didn't touch Tux in that instance. I'm dumbfounded.
He's the miracle man.
They landed at his feet. Nonetheless, Alpha Sydney, I mean, I like the play there.
Some of those cans
Probably
got
was
in the
never
way.
going to win the round, but it might have been able to net them 1, if not 2 frags there if they were able to connect with those HE grenades. But they will buy into this round, having got that plant on that first round. So Tux at the moment actually spotted out there, trying to go aggressively perhaps into his window, but not having the spawn to do so. That flash actually will allow him to retreat, and the tease caught off guard a little bit by, but they shouldn't have. His stance pushes out, and Mizu, you can see the aggression here from X5 this time. They're just finding the frags at will at the moment. It is a 1-for-1, but Alpha Sydney definitely on the back foot at the moment as they try and make their way down mid.
Yeah, Dan's just getting caught out, trying to throw a grenade up mid, but it's taken down. Visit actually takes down Tux. Mizu's able to find the trades, but it's going the way of Alpha Sydney at the moment. Sicko just taking matters into his own heads there, taking control of connector, leaves Ferg over at the B checkers. A lot of work to do, but that bomb has made its way back around the T ramp, and they're taking the cautious approach with the RBZ on very low HP. Ferg, though, makes it nice and easy for Sicko to pick up what was his 4th for the round. Nice contribution from the mayor, the talisman of Alpha Sydney at the moment.
And just to explain that flash from Ferg there, he was just trying to throw it towards ticket box back at City Spawn to perhaps trick the terrorists into thinking that he was coming from that direction when they heard that sound cue, and then he tried to make his way through the window room off the back of it, but ultimately he did get booked, the terrorist not falling for in that instance. Perhaps the time that elapsed between that flash and him moving through wasn't enough.
Well, there is a bug currently in the game at the moment where you can hear people actually pinning the flash. So Sicko might have actually heard Ferg pin that flash and then throw it.
Look, if there was anyone to know about bugs in the server, I'm sure that Sicko would probably be the one who would be hearing the pinning of that flash, but nonetheless, RBZ has gone down. And
he always carries a cannonball team.
XL5, they're going to be happy with the position that they now find themselves in, as we see 3 members here of Alpha City making their way through the B halls, but Tux is in a really strong spot here. Doesn't have much in the way of support, but his teammates have taken control of mid, so they will soon be able to get to B, even if they're not there right now. But Tux using that smoke to full effect, they're just gobbling behind him. That rotation that we spoke of has already come into force as Dan's does find one, and they can't find Tux. He's standing in the smoke. Wizard is looking at him, but the 17 seconds proved to be enough for Tux to just hide in there and wait for Mizu to get there to the rescue. Gets 2 headshots, looks for the 3rd. In the end, he shoots his teammate before Pex finishes off the job. But great work there by Tux. It might sound strange when he didn't get a frag in that instance, but the time that he bought just standing in the middle of the site, the terrorists would have been so frustrated knowing that he was somewhere there, but not sure where exactly he was.
Well, and it didn't matter for Mizu where he found that 3rd headshot, whether it was a teammate. He was looking for it. XL5, though, I've done enough to get Alpha Sydney on an eco, and that's dangerous territory for them at the moment. Obviously, only buying a few smokes. Well, even that smoke has been expended quite quickly in taking control of mid, but now leaves them with 1 smoker grenade. P50s and a Tech 9. So opting for some A control. Objective, no doubt, would be to try and get that plant.
Yeah, look over PZD. It was just standing in the smoke. I was just waiting for his eventual death now. It'll signal the attack here as they move on towards the air site. Mizu. First objective is lay down that Molotov, trying to stop that play. But it certainly helps. I do apologise as I swallow gets in. It helps as Mizu cleans them up anyway. So that plant was never going to eventuate for them. There wasn't much in the way of armor or even utility to support them in that round. So 13-7. Exile 5 quickly running away and looking a lot more convincing than they did on the first map.
Yeah, really being sprung into action here on Mirage. Now, you obviously saw the vetoes go down. First map was Case. Whose pick was that, I'm assuming?
Alpha Sydney's.
Alpha Sydney's, yeah. They certainly made it work from there, but XL5 looking a lot stronger, a lot more comfortable on their map Mirage. Fizzy Kid cops that grenade sweep, but only does 10 damage, so managing to pick up that frag on Mizu as well, who was pushing the CT connector, and now Alpha Sydney take control of mid here. There is a boost there, Dance, just up on the short boxes there. Tux, though, harassed by Wizard. As Ferg continues to push there, Dance is able to find a frag, but at the moment it is a 4 versus 1. The trades have come in and are successful for Alpha Sydney. Sicko, though, runs into Dance first hand. Former teammates there going face to face, and it is now just a simple 3v1 for Dance at the moment. That bomb has gone down. He does have a kid. He does have a little bit of utility. If he can find a frag early on here, there is a possibility he may go for it, but it depends on whether or not he can find that frag. It's going to be more difficult with that smoke that comes through, but he flushes himself through, makes it work, gets the first of many crucial frags here, going for the TD, the ace, swivels on a dime, not able to find it there. Echo just calms himself down, finds that frag eventually. Alpha Sydney find their 8th round.
He made so much noise there, though. Wasted so much time before actually committing to midcon. In the end, he had to almost charge into the A bomb site, recognising that there wasn't going to be enough time to defuse otherwise. And like an elephant stampeding into that bomb site, he was always going to just get picked apart as the CTs there, or the Ts I should say, in the site just played their angles to full effect. And Dan's view that did get taken down with relative ease in the end as Alpha Sydney now obviously buy into this round, but they've taken a bit of damage. Those nades in mid, Tux connecting quite heavily, at least onto Sicko, but standing in what looked to be the flames there, he finds the frag, and RBZ will be left asking himself, how on earth did that just go down? It's Tux putting on his safety vest, his best fire equipment weaponry.
Doing the safety dance?
Yeah, that sort of stuff. Finding that kill there as Ferg spots out one, or at least momentarily will. Might call for rotation as well, as at the moment his closest teammate is actually positioned in mid-window, so he needs to stay alive here. He will throw that defensive flash. Good flash it is nonetheless, as well as PZT does get blind, has to retreat, and it now allows Tux to come and help out.
Yeah, they've just bolstered their forces over here at the B bomb site. Mizu actually finds that frag on a Sicko, so the lurker's been eliminated. Looking at the overlay, all 3 members of Alpha Sydney are just in those halls, and whilst they still do have 50 seconds left, Ferg is able to find that trade there onto PC Kid, who actually found Tux in the middle of the site, and now they are pressuring Ferg here. They know where he is. He is able to do a lot of damage there onto Wizard, but it is a 3 versus 2. Wizard continues to force the issue. Sharp shot in there into Dance, but he's traded out really quickly there by Mizu. Echo makes his way around the site. Now his presence is known. Does find one, but the trades are the favour of Exile 5 as Mizu does find the bomb eventually. 14 rounds.
Wall for a little bit. I think he recognised it and it was actually below his feet, so once he readjusted his crosshair, he took it down quite easily. But from a CT standpoint, we often talk about the fact that sometimes you see a lot of disparity on the scoreboard. I think it's really positive here from XL5 to see that they're actually all contributing at the moment quite evenly. We've got Tux and Pex with 18 frags, Mizu and Dance with 17 apiece, and Ferg not far behind. So looking a little bit more promising here. The signs from XL5, unfortunately, it's come a little bit too late in terms of their chances of making it to the land finals, but nonetheless, still quite keen to get a win here as Alpha Sydney setting up for the A execute. So both teams falling back into that sort of pattern when it comes to crunch time at the end of each half at the moment. Mizu and Pex, they'll be the ones to take the first encounter.
That's right, Mizu actually, well, forget about that. Mizu just takes things into his own hands and that's a wrap.
That's not good. We do apologise. That's as a result of the players, unfortunately, not being able to play in the CG server, which actually has, I think, by default, the time delay enabled, which forces the players to wait before changing the map at the end so that the GoTV can show all the action. Unfortunately, because they had to move to a private server, I think that perhaps that was a slight oversight there. And as a result, we now find ourselves